OpenClaw versus NemoClaw. Everyone's talking about it, but nobody's explaining it properly. And here's what most people are telling you. NemoClaw is NVIDIA's competitor to OpenClaw. So pick one or the other. And that's the framing you'll see on X, on Reddit, and in every thumbnail this week. And it's wrong. And if you make decisions based on that framing, you're going to waste weeks going down the wrong path. So here's the actual answer in one sentence. NemoClaw runs OpenClaw inside it, and it's not a different agent, it's the same agent in a different building. But that one sentence doesn't tell you when you'd want one over the other, and what the trade-offs actually are in practice, and where both of them fall short right now. So that's what this video is for. I've gone through the documentation, the GTC keynote, and every teardown and review out there, and I've run both myself. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one fits your situation, whether you're a founder automating your business, a developer building for clients, or someone who just heard about OpenClaw last week and is trying to figure out what's going on. So let's dive into it. So if you already know OpenClaw, skip ahead. The timestamps are in the description. But if you're newer to this, here's what you need to know. OpenClaw is an open source AI agent that lives on your computer and does things for you autonomously around the clock. It was created by a developer named Peter Steinberger in late 2025, and it became the fastest growing open source project in history with 321,000 GitHub stars in 60 days. Faster than React hit in a decade. So what makes it different from ChatGPT or Claude? Those are chatbots. You ask, they answer. OpenClaw doesn't wait for you to ask. It connects to your messaging apps such as WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, Discord, and it acts on your behalf. It checks your inbox, it runs scheduled tasks, it executes multi-step workflows whilst you sleep. 5 components make it tick. The gateway routes all your messages. The reasoning engine makes the actual LLM calls, such as Claude, GPT, Gemini, whatever you choose. Memory is stored as simple markdown files on disk. Skills are plain text plugins that teach the agent new capabilities, and the scheduler wakes it up to do work without you prompting it. It's model agnostic and it has over 50 integrations, and it's completely free, so you can install it on a Mac Mini and have it running in 10 minutes. This sounds amazing, doesn't it? But there is a catch, and it's a big one. So OpenClaw runs with the same permissions as your user account. Every file, every terminal command, and every email, the agent can access all of it, and that's what essentially makes it very powerful. It's also what turned it into the biggest security target in AI. So here are the numbers, and they're not amazing. So 1 in 5 skills on the official ClawHavoc marketplace is confirmed malicious. So a coordinated attack campaign called ClawHavoc uploaded 335 poison skills disguised as legitimate tools, stealing API keys, browser credentials, and crypto wallets. So out of the 13,700 published skills, roughly 900 were flagged. Then came a critical vulnerability, so a one-click remote code execution. You visit the wrong page and an attacker gets full control of your OpenClaw instance. At the time, there were 17,500 vulnerable instances exposed to the internet. And here's the stat that should make everyone uncomfortable. 42,900 public OpenClaw installations found exposed across 82 countries, many with zero authentication. So Cisco's security team called personal AI agents like OpenClaw, and I'm quoting here, a security nightmare. Now, I want to be clear, this doesn't mean OpenClaw is bad, it means OpenClaw is powerful and you need to respect that power. You wouldn't give a new employee the keys to every filing cabinet, every bank account, and every email thread on day one with no supervision. But that's exactly what a default OpenClaw install does. This is the problem NVIDIA looked at and said, we can fix this. So here's the most important thing in this entire video, so just listen closely. NemoClaw is not a separate agent. It's not a competitor, nor it is a replacement. NemoClaw is a security wrapper that NVIDIA built around OpenClaw. The same agent, different cage. The analogy I keep coming back to is OpenClaw is the employee, which is smart, capable, and gets things done. OpenShell is the secure office building that employees work inside. And NemoClaw is the building management system. So it constructs the building, it programs the badge readers, and it sets the access rules for every room and logs every decision. The employee doesn't change, the skills don't change, the worker doesn't change, but now there's a security checkpoint on every door. And NVIDIA announced it in March the 16th, 2026 at GTC. So, and their CEO, Jensen, basically said on stage that every company needs to have an OpenClaw strategy, putting it alongside Linux and Kubernetes. So they built in collaboration with Peter Steinberger himself, who's still maintaining OpenClaw even after joining OpenAI. So what does NemoClaw add on top of vanilla OpenClaw? Well, 4 things. Number 1 is the file system isolation. So the agent can only touch 2 directories, the sandbox and temporary directories. So your real system files, they're completely walled off. It's a compromised skill inside NemoClaw that literally cannot reach your documents, your credentials, or anything. And the vanilla OpenClaw, the agent just sees everything you see. The second thing is deny by default networking. So every outbound network call passes through a policy engine. If the destination isn't explicitly whitelisted in your YAML policy file, it just gets blocked, period. So nothing leaves the sandbox without your permission. Whereas in OpenClaw, the agent can hit any URL on the internet with 0 restrictions. Now, number 3 is the privacy router. When the agent sends context to an LLM for inference, NemoClaw strips personally identifiable information before the request leaves the sandbox. So OpenClaw sends your full context, names, emails, whatever's in there, straight to the API with no filtering. The fourth thing, which is a full audit trail. Every allow, every deny, every action is logged in real time. You can watch it live in the terminal and you know exactly what your agent did and what it tried to do and what got stopped. All of this enforcement happens at the OS kernel level. The agent cannot override its own security constraints. That's architecturally different from OpenClaw's application level controls, where a sufficiently clever prompt injection could theoretically bypass the guardrails from inside. So out of process enforcement, the security lives outside the agent, and that's the whole point. Okay, so I've got a comparison on screen, so let's just walk through it. The licensing costs, so both are free and open source, and there's no licensing costs for either. The OS support, this is where it gets real. So OpenClaw runs on Windows, Mac and Linux, and that's why everyone's buying Mac Minis. NemoClaw officially requires Ubuntu, and it's Linux only, and there's partial Mac support through Docker Desktop and Windows, but expect rough edges. So if you're on a Mac and not comfortable with Linux, NemoClaw is a harder sell right now. As for hardware, OpenClaw is light, it's just 1.5 gigs of RAM, it runs almost on anything, and NemoClaw requires 8 gigs minimum. 16 gigs are recommended, and Docker is required, and the sandbox image is 2.4 gigs compressed. So the beefier requirements reflect the isolation layers. As for the setup time, OpenClaw is under 10 minutes, whereas NemoClaw, it can be from 20 to 30. Essentially because you're setting up Docker, OpenShell, the sandbox image, and writing YAML policies for your specific use case. Now for model support, there's a big misconception here. A lot of the people think NemoClaw locks into NVIDIA's Nemotron models, and that's just not true. Claude, GPT, Gemini, they all work inside NemoClaw. The difference is that every inference call routes through OpenShell Gateway, which handles the privacy filtering and policy enforcement. So Nemotron is the default suggestion, and it's optimized for NVIDIA hardware, but it's not a lock-in. Now, as for the running costs, well, OpenClaw is mainly API bills. It's just light usage is $5 to $10 a month. Regular can be 15 to 30, and power users will probably spend over $100. And there are some horror stories where people have hit $600 or even $3,600 a month from runaway agent loops. Whereas NemoClaw, the software is free, but you need infrastructure. So a Linux server with Docker runs at $20 to $50 a month plus inference costs. NemoClaw's inference routing can save money by keeping simple queries on local models and only sending complex tasks to cloud APIs. Now for the ecosystem, OpenClaw has 321,000 stars on GitHub. It has over 1,000 contributors and 13,000 plus marketplace skills, with trust issues that we already discussed. Whereas NemoClaw has 4,600 stars on GitHub and about 20 contributors. It's completely brand new, but the enterprise partner list is quite serious. It includes Adobe, Salesforce, SAP, ServiceNow, CrowdStrike, Atlassian and Palantir. Dell is shipping machines with NemoClaw pre-installed. And now, before we get to the verdict, I want to talk about something practical that most of these comparison videos just skip entirely. So here's the reality. OpenClaw is powerful, but for most finders, it's a mess. Unsafe ClawHub skills, security vulnerabilities, and runaway agents just burn through API credits. So I've seen people turn a promising setup into a costly disaster in a single weekend. So I run OpenClaw securely. My agents handle outreach, lead gen, content, and inbox management. And without the chaos, just without the coding or the horror stories. So if that's what you want, I built exactly this inside my community. So the core membership teaches you how to run OpenClaw the right way with no coding experience required. And if you want the full system, Premium gives you the Atlas persona. So that's essentially your AI chief of staff, which does outreach, leads, context, inbox. You can deploy in 15 minutes with 11 copy-paste modules from install to full automation. So it's self-hosted AI agents, total data sovereignty, and zero coding. You just deploy and go. So the link for the school community is in the description. So now let's get back to the comparison. So I need to give you the unfiltered version here because there's a lot of hype and not enough honesty. So NemoClaw is alpha software. It's launched 9 days ago and it feels like it. So one reviewer actually spent half an hour trying to get a simple Hacker News cron job running, and the problem? Well, every single outbound network request needs manual approval in the OpenShell terminal. So you're switching between your chat and the approval terminal interface constantly. So for anything beyond a basic task, you're just babysitting this thing. The Telegram bridge throws 255 errors, and the install script can fail on the OpenShell download. So you might have to grab it manually from GitHub. And the inference using Nemotron, well, it's up to 2 minutes per response in some cases. 2 minutes, which just kills any real-time workflow. So you can't layer NemoClaw onto an existing OpenClaw setup, and that surprises everyone. So a fresh install is required, and you can migrate config files into the sandbox, but there's no upgrade path, and you're just like starting over. So the policy system is powerful in theory, but it's limited in practice right now. So you're handwriting your YAML for every use case, and the documentation is sparse, and the error messages are quite cryptic. But, and this is very important, the rough edges are all in the user experience. So the actual security architecture underneath, the kernel-level isolation out of process enforcement and the full audit logging, that is real, and that is sound engineering. The foundation is solid, and it's essentially the paint and furniture that need work. So 6 months from now, this is going to be a very different product, and the question is whether you need it today. So here's how to think about this. This is not a pick one decision, it's a what stage are you at decision. So OpenClaw is the right call if you're experimenting, if you're learning how agents work, or if you're just building hobby projects. So if you want the widest model support, Claude, GPT, local models, whatever, and if you need Mac or Windows, if you're budget conscious, and if you're comfortable doing your own security hardening, and if you go the OpenClaw route, here's my setup advice. Run it on a separate machine, not your daily driver. So don't connect it to critical tools unless you understand how it behaves. And do not blindly install skills from ClawHub without vetting them first. That marketplace is just still a minefield. Now, NemoClaw is the right call if your agent is touching client data, business files, or credentials, and if you're in a regulated industry where audit trails aren't optional. If you're building agents for clients or deploying in production, if you have NVIDIA hardware and you want to leverage it, or if a security breach would have real-world consequences beyond just that's annoying, then NemoClaw is a good use case. And it is clearly the architectural winner for production use. The security model is fundamentally different from anything you can bolt onto OpenClaw after the fact. So yes, it's more setup, it's rough, but if you're putting an autonomous agent on sensitive data, you want kernel-level enforcement, not application-level promises. Now here's the bigger picture. The fact that NVIDIA, a $1 trillion company, looked at this space and said autonomous agents are the future, but they need enterprise security, tells you everything about where this is heading. So Jensen put OpenClaw alongside Linux and Kubernetes for a reason. The teams and founders who figure out agent security now are going to move significantly faster when these tools mature, and the ones who wait are going to scramble to retrofit security onto systems that were never designed for it. So OpenClaw shows what's possible, and NemoClaw shows how to do it safely at scale. So they're not competitors, they're chapters in the same story. That's the full breakdown. If this cleared up the confusion for you, hit the like button, and it just generally helps more people find this. Subscribe if you want more of these deep dives, and I'm covering all of this: OpenClaw, NemoClaw, agent security, the whole ecosystem as it develops. And if you want to go deeper on OpenClaw specifically, I've got 2 videos you need to watch. This one, I went through every memory plugin available and narrowed it down to the 3 that actually work, and that's been blowing up. And this one, if you've set up OpenClaw and your agent keeps forgetting things or acting weird, this explains exactly why and how to fix it. These 2 together will save you hours. Links are on the screen. I'll see you in the next one.